Alan Van Norden, and my company is AVANATOmy. It's just a lifestyle institution. It was started back in 2004 at Bowie State University. The goal was to kind of take my college experience, being from New York, going to school in Maryland, being around a whole bunch of new people, and bottling that up and making this performance company. When I finished school and I moved back to New York, got a job doing public relations, and I worked for a lady really into fashion, and that was kind of my introduction into, I guess, the fashion business. Never had plans on being in fashion, never had plans on making clothes, but it opened me up to a world of like super creativity. So in order to get me a little more versed in talking, she got me to take a voice and diction class at Juilliard. I was exposed to the arts at another level. From that experience, I started like working Fashion Week and personal training in a place called Westport, Connecticut, very wealthy, affluent area. And there I was exposed to, I guess, business at a different level. Majority of my clients were like hedge fund owners, business owners, came from like long old money, and they kind of took me in as part of their family. And that's where I kind of developed and grew the culture of anatomy. So I tried to take the sports performance world that I was involved in college, in the fashion atmosphere, and kind of create this whole lifestyle initiative. Me getting into fashion really happened by accident. You know, I started designing shirts for a lot of the universities that I worked at, and trying to create subcultures. So the first shirt I designed was called "We Are Revolutionists." I worked at South Carolina State as an assistant strength coach. Very cool school, great football pedigree at the university, and all it lacked was a little cultural influence. So "We Are Revolutionists" was my way of getting the students involved in believing that they can change anything about what they wanted. So, you know, if they wanted to be successful in sports, you know, they had to bring about the change, and that's where that happened. So we had a subculture of student athletes that trained after hours, before hours, you know, after practices, and, you know, I designed this a shirt, and it just took off. The AD at the university, the coaches at the university all started to support this movement, and that's kind of how the momentum started. Back when I was at Freestyle in Westport, Connecticut, I designed their whole line of gym apparel. So I started with a women's tight to a men's sweatpants and top, and then I developed my signature 5-panel hat for the gym, and it was very successful, and that turned into me doing a lot of you know, design work for a lot of the clients who came to train at Freestyle. So a lot of the people who trained at this particular private training studio were business owners, and they wanted cool, creative kind of designs for their company, you know, shirts and, you know, polos and things like that. So that's kind of how my introduction into the design world started happening. I have an eye for just simplicity in terms of apparel, and, you know, one thing that stood out at Freestyle in Westport, Connecticut was I had an affinity for sneakers, and a lot of my clients I really got based off the sneakers that I used to wear. I was a big SB Dunk fan, so I had, you know, over like 25 pairs of SB Dunks, and my niche was to keep my clients was every workout I would wear a different pair of sneakers, and that kind of became a signature for me, whereas they thought it was like a cool new thing, you know, for the gym. And a lot of that kind of started that momentum for, well, you might have an eye for, you know, fashion or design, and that's where a lot of that came from. As of right now, the company is just in the business of trying to change as many lives as possible. My goal is to, you know, try to get as many people in better health for free. I kind of got a diet plan that I gave out to over, roughly over 600 people, and the response on that has been very good. I think health is super important, and to just paying it forward is kind of the essence of what we're trying to do. The apparel is just an extension of that. It represents the kind of creative, healthy lifestyle. So right now we're just trying to grow organically and through acquisition. And besides that, just try to be as true and organic to ourselves as possible. I see us as pretty much one of the biggest entities in health and wellness and sports apparel. I think we fit a demographic that hasn't really been tapped yet, and if you look at the urban demographic, and providing a healthy lifestyle sports apparel, and it's really just all cool and dope ass apparel, and it's a void in the system, in the culture for that, and I feel as if we're kind of feeding that need. The website is really a collective of a bunch of creative information. So we have health, we have lifestyle apparel, we have music in terms of our sound garden, and we're just trying to grow and just keep recreating and reinventing what people want and just making it dope.